Hi there, my name is Matt Cole.
And I'm Brian Garrity.
And we are the producers of the Sexperts podcast. Before we begin, we just want to give a huge thanks to our guest during this episode, Derek Munn.
Derek was kind enough to design the Sexperts logos, which we love so much, and we can't say enough. Derek did an awesome job. Check him out on his website,
MrMunn.com. And he's also awesome at improvising, which you'll see in this episode. He got his chops from the Push Comedy Theater, so go to pushcomedytheater.com if you'd like to learn stand-up, sketch, or improv comedy.
And check out our improv group, The Dudes, Friday, July 14th at 9:15 p.m. at the Narrow Cinema in Norfolk, Virginia, as we actually open up for a showing of The Big Lebowski movie.
That's right. And you can find us on Instagram and Twitter at The Real Sexperts, Facebook, The Sexperts, and you can email us your topic suggestions and questions at therealsexperts@gmail.com.
And they do get on the air. That's a great way to become a guest as well.
Absolutely. So without further ado, everything you are about to hear is made up on the spot. So please enjoy this wonderful episode of The Sexperts.
Beep, 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 beep. Turn on your computer, dial up the web, download some information into your head. It's Dr. John and Delilah, they're having a great time. Data to do, it's simply true, we're the Sexperts.
And intro music, and hi there! Welcome to The Sexperts. I am your host, Dr. John T. Alanese, CPM.
And I am Delilah Haydare, and oh my God, I've been putting some serious miles on my dad's Ford Ranger.
Is that the expertise you're coming with us this week?
I got a new job. Oh. The city of Virginia Beach has contracted me to take truckloads of Canada geese and drive them back up to Canada.
Oh, God.
You can fit about 275 Canada geese in a Ford Ranger if you pack them right.
Well, on our webpage, please draw us a diagram of how you pack Canadian geese, because I'm sure our listeners are wondering about that. But also, our listeners are wondering about sex, because that's what we're all about. Here in this podcast, we're looking at the modern controversial topics in sex, love, anything, really. I mean, we talk about so much stuff here. It's like
when the lights go down, the Sexperts come to town.
I know. It makes me want to go bowling for some reason. But yeah, let's discuss our topic of the day. This one is really important because this can actually save lives. Today's topic of the day is dangerous safe words. Dangerous safe words. Sometimes you think safe words are safe inherently because they're called safe words. But sometimes they are dangerous.
Yeah, you don't have to tell me. I went to college.
You had before you got married, you had quite the sexual escapades, didn't you?
I did, and I went through many a safe word. Learned some lessons the hard way, and I'm looking forward to sharing some of my experience.
I think you've shared with me recently about the perfect safe word, but we don't want perfect today. We want dangerous. We'll get to that in just a little bit. But we actually have and I want to get to those geese too.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Do I hear geese right now?
Yeah, I've got to try. Right after this episode is recorded, I'm headed to Alberta.
All right. So
the thing is, you can't put all the geese in the same spot,
Yeah.
or Canada's going to catch on.
Okay.
So I have to pick a different Canadian city every week.
You got to spread the love of the geese throughout the Canada.
Yeah, and I have to help them lose their accents on the way.
You got to blend in. You got to assimilate, geese. Well, we'll talk all about that and our topic of the day, dangerous safe words, in just a bit. But we have here, sitting in our midst, a very special guest. And I want to discuss as much as we can before we have to go geese, or you have to go with your geese hunting, or I don't know what the hell you do. Yeah, so go ahead and introduce yourself. Welcome, by the way. Hi.
Hello, my name is Dr. Hans Holder. I am a expert in hand linkage. You know, when two hands join one another and interact, it is a truly beautiful and unique thing, and that is my area of study.
Wow. So basically hand holding, right? Or is that too vulgar?
No. Holding implies that there is a dominant and a submissive, and so hand linkage is the proper term that we prefer.
Oh my God. Thank you. It's like, I mean, it's not PC culture, you know, because we're not into that, but we do want to be respectful of everybody's sexual or whatever things. So thank you. That's enlightening. I think I've been holding hands. I think I haven't been linking hands up to this point.
Well, and see, linking hands is, again, the proper scientific terminology, because we're not just talking about two hands that merely touch one another.
Yeah.
We are interested in how they fingerprints interact with one another and match up, and how tall the person's ridges are, and how the left hands link with the right hands versus the lefts versus the rights, and if you swap sides, what exactly happens and how the relationship between two people can change.
Wow. This is fascinating. I didn't know. I thought we were going to talk about some dumb shit today, but we're getting scientific, huh?
I'm going to try and man up and get through this conversation, but as someone who's hand challenged, like myself, I don't think I've ever linked hands. I think I've always been submissive. And
oh no, your hand's been held.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, talk to us about. Have you ever come across this? I mean, I don't want to look at anybody in the room, but I'm looking at you, Delilah. For people with short fingers and small hands, what do you do?
Oh, well, there is extensive therapy that a person can go through in order to make the most of the fingers that they have. I hear that there is a recently elected political official that suffers from small hands. And so I will not name any names, as I've been contracted to work with this person.
Are you serious?
I've already said too much. I can.
Oh my God!
Be any more specific with names?
I didn't know we had such a celebrity in the room. Jesus Christ!
These handshakes I'm seeing on television. Are you teaching these handshakes? Are you like the global leader in handshake dominance?
Well, there are some instances where people aggressively link hands, and it is very obvious when a person has been, abused in their childhood.
Oh,
and
my God.
Oh, yes. It is a very, very serious condition. And so far we have had I don't know why I'm saying so much about this. It's
a podcast. Feel free to talk.
But you are an international podcast. I'm saying too much. I'm saying too much. No, please.
Well, speaking of saying too much, I do want to get to our topic of the day. I think you can shed a lot of light on this because you don't. For our topic of the day, dangerous safe words. You don't want long safe words. That can be saying too much, but probably not a short safe word either because if you can't get the syllable out,
safe words remind me of my time as a Little League umpire.
Hand gestures play a completely and utterly a very important role.
I only
in
lasted about
baseball.
I only lasted about a week and a half because I would raise my fist for out or my hands out for safe, and no one in the stands could see what I was doing.
That is very unfortunate.
Yeah, and they would just scream at me, "Which is it, asshole?" And I would say, "Hey, there's a American Disabilities Act gives me the right to work in whatever industry I want and for accommodations." So the league gave me 2 of those big number 1 foam fingers, and I would hold 1 up for safe and 2 up for out.
God.
But that still they didn't really like that either, so I didn't last very long.
You have lived such a unprivileged life.
But I did get to get to some good players come through that league, like
who? Sammy Sosa,
Daryl Strawberry, and those were during my drug years too. So.
Oh my! All of those people have such wonderful hands, capable hands.
We used to load up on blow and then hit Pizza Hut all-you-can-eat buffet, and I would get them to cut the pieces into half so I could grab them all in one hand.
Did you happen to notice how Mr. Strawberry cradled his pizza in his left hand? He is left-handed, is that correct?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. It is very, again, the way people interact with other objects in their hands, not just other hands, it is very critical of their character and very revealing of how skilled that person is in their lives.
You must get nothing done. Fascinated by everything that everybody ever does with their hands. Like, honey, look, he's touching that like this and that.
Well, we've interacted with these objects just every single day. It's every day. I mean, think about all the things that you pick up and put down within your daily life.
And what a different reaction for me, where I'm just like, God, it must be nice to be able to lift that with one hand.
I mean, imagine the people that are handless, for goodness sakes. The people that have no hands or 4 fingers on a hand.
Brother,
no
I'm
thumbs.
close.
Oh my God! Imagine the scenario. Okay, I'm sure you're probably a special not investigator, but a jury, like a special evidence person, or this was that called? What was it?
Oh, an expert.
An expert witness. Okay.
Oh, yes,
and
yes.
you go to expert witness, but you find out the culprit has no hands. What do you do then?
Oh, well, I'm pretty much useless at the time. I suppose if
that's simple. I'm useless.
Well, I suppose if the person was barefoot on the scene, I might be able to offer some insight about the way their toes
So does it transfer, though? I had that question. Does it transfer hands to feet?
I minored in pedicures. I actually went to beauty school to study the opposite of hands at one point in my life.
Yeah, sometimes you just need to mix it up.
Oh, absolutely. And so while I may not be an expert, I will be able to offer some insight, but a serious jury at that case would not allow me to put that evidence into consideration.
Now, and tell me, it sounds like kind of if I were to use a Star Wars metaphor, light side, dark side sort of thing, where I imagine kind of the light side, Luke Skywalker with the hands, but with the feet is kind of like the dark side. Do you have like a nemesis in the field who works specifically with feet?
Well, there are several foot doctors that do not seem to respect the very. I mean, much like we use our hands every single day. I mean, people walk on their feet. These are important things, and yet some of them just do not seem to respect them. People it just amazes me and astonishes me what they can get away with.
You're talking like you have somebody very specific in mind. Who is it? Right now, let's dish.
Call him out.
Call him out
right here.
It's Dr. Fushman. Dr. Fushman, yes.
Dr. Fushman.
He practices.
It's spelled Footsme.
Are you familiar with Dr. Fushman?
Yes, I saw Dr. Fushman for
I'm so sorry.
a brief period of time.
Your bunions.
Oh my God!
I had to travel all the way to Nicaragua to get my bunions looked at for lack of budgetary issue.
Again, I'm no expert in feet, but that man he's a butcher.
Which is why he had to relocate to Nicaragua.
Absolutely, he should. It's where he should stay. It's where he should stay.
Well, speaking of Nicaragua, dangerous safe words is our topic of the day, and
honey, Nicaragua.
Oh, that is a very hard word to say.
One thing you want to be careful with the safe word is. You don't want it to have an accent.
Oh, absolutely. Actually, but before we get into that, I actually have, and feel free to email us, therealsexperts@gmail.com, if you have any questions at all or any thoughts at all. For instance, one of our previous guests...
before you read...
Oh, go for it,
If we don't get back to you right away, don't get frustrated.
Yeah.
We get a lot of email, like hundreds and hundreds of emails a day.
I had to sign up for security detail around my two-story...
We're thinking about hiring a virtual assistant out of India just to come through our emails, because a lot of them are just fawning, don't really have any questions.
It's a little too much sometimes, but please. For instance, we had a guest on here, a really delightful man, Richard Fantastic. I think he kind of got drunk one night and sent us this email. Let me read it. Marvel's Ant-Man really teaches the proper narrative structure. Kudos to the director, Stan Lee. And then a quote from his own show. Where we're going, we don't need roads, just a good subway infrastructure. And then he credits himself, Dick Fantastic's Magical Subway, Season 1, Episode 1. And that is it. Thank you for the email, Richard Fantastic.
Not really a question in there, but I do look forward to, we've done, 350 of these episodes?
Yeah.
I do look forward to quoting ourselves more often.
Like your email. I don't really like email signatures that have like quotes in them, because sometimes they don't make any sense pertaining to the email you sent. It's like, okay, like this meeting's at 5, and then you have an inspirational quote from Gandhi. It doesn't mesh.
I like the ones that say, please consider the environment before you print this out.
No, I think
I'll sit there for like an hour and a half at work, just like thinking about the environment.
And I know your specialty is hands, but do you have a footer or a signature in your emails?
Well, yes, my footer in my email is very informative to people. It's more about a moisturizing regimen that I recommend to all of my patients.
It's like 3 pages long.
Oh, absolutely.
Free advice?
Absolutely. I mean, you have to give something out to the world in order to get back. I'm a firm believer in if you have an expertise, it is your duty to share it with the world.
Actually, I'm going to have... Do you mind if I steal that as my signature?
No,
I'm
not
going to write that down.
That could be the tagline for the Sexperts. If you have an expertise in something, it's your responsibility to share it with the world.
Yes. Oh my God.
Oh, well, it would be my honor to be.
We do it every week. We do it every week.
Well, speaking of doing it every week, I do want to get to our topic of the day. I'm sure you have a lot to say about this subject, but our topic of the day is dangerous safe words. And again, we're probably going to save a lot of lives during this episode because a lot of deaths every year are attributed to dangerous safe words.
Well, it has come up several times during this podcast, but certain words are very hard for me to say with my Austrian accent.
I didn't want to bring it up, but since you bring it up, where is Austria exactly?
Well, it is a little bit below Germany, my father's side.
Okay.
Yes, there we go. We got the world map rolling in the head.
Were you guys involved with the killing people and stuff in WW2?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, we've tried to. We've tried to make amends again by putting out our expertise to the word. We tried to make amends for certain things that may have transpired in history. So
you're making up for it in hand jobs. That's great.
Again, that word job, hand in job. No, they're no fun when they become
How
jobs.
many hand jobs would you say your business has created?
Oh, well, again, with proper care of someone's hands.
You're like a hand job engine.
Oh, well, that would be such an honor to bring such pleasure into the world with so many people.
Now, I know you have a relationship with him, a professional relationship, but a certain president who I won't name, he's actually looking to export hand jobs. And I think we should be importing hand jobs. We should be bringing in more hand jobs than we export every year.
Well, I'm no expert on the economy, but it seems to be that if there's a supply, there should be a demand.
There is a huge supply for hand jobs in this country.
Oh yes, it is a complete pull economy. When with hand jobs, people always wanting to accept them, there seems to never be enough.
No.
And so we either need to create them domestically or import them from the foreign markets.
What's your take on fingernails?
Yeah, because it's obviously there aren't a whole lot of things. I think you have a boring fucking job, but not a lot of things on the hand.
How long is too long?
Yeah.
Well, it depends. If for a woman that really enjoys her nails, proper care is important to make sure that they don't break. But however, I keep mine with just a centimeter of the white bit that comes off the end of your fingernails. That is the optimum length. And
So all of your research and study has led you to just embrace traditional gender roles. Just get in line with the system, nothing new.
Well, if you trace it back anthropologically, the male hand is designed for digging in soil, whereas...
Dicking in soil?
Digging in soil, excuse me.
Dicking in soil.
That sounds like a topic for another
I have so many notes down here today, inspirational quotes, and then just dicking in soil circled.
How else can I say it? For the hand being a shovel and moving dirt from one place to another.
It sounds like another topic. The hand being a shovel. Oh, golly.
Yes, I'm a firm believer in that the man's hands are tools.
Okay,
Whereas women's hands, they are tools, but they are tools for different things.
Hand jobs.
You said it, not me.
God. Okay, so since you're such an expert, and I also don't want to pay for this either, but I want you to tell me, when I shake Delilah's hand, what it says about me, Dr. John T. Alaniz, CPM, certified professional midwife, as a person, or just whatever you think. So hopefully, so let's build up to it.
Can I make a prediction?
Yeah.
Pre-diabetic clamminess.
No, you go to hell. All right. So to make this as natural as possible, let's do a little role play. So say
that would be very natural.
You're an old friend, and I'm seeing you on the street. Okay, so I turn around. It's like, oh, hey,
John. I heard you're a CPM now.
Yeah, I have a podcast too.
Oh my God, is it famous? Is it popular?
Hey, let me shake your hand. Yeah. Hey.
Ugh.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah, that was it.
Okay,
oh, no, wait, let's finish off the role play. All right, see ya.
Hey, it was great shaking your hand.
Thanks.
I hope to see you again and shake it again.
I love you. Okay, bye. Okay, now tell me, and give it to me straight, Doc. Doctor to doctor.
Okay, so in my professional opinion...
Yes.
Can we talk more about the wave at the end when you said goodbye?
Oh my God! I didn't even realize it. I didn't even realize it.
Nope,
yes, please. Go ahead.
Yes,
talk to me.
The handshake we will get to, but the wave, you're very vigorous with your hand wave. It started at the wrist. It was very opposite of the Queen's wave, which is very delicate and more of a cupping of the hand and a more like a shimmy. Back and forth.
You're so observant,
And no, what does it
say? What does it mean?
Get to the good stuff.
No,
describe it.
It was a very enthusiastic goodbye. The way it vigorously shook in the air.
Okay, so
he was very anxious to get away from you.
Oh.
Mr. Hey there.
John.
No, it wasn't. It's not you, Delilah. It was in the role play. Like, I was very anxious about him knowing that I was a certified professional midwife. I thought he was going to call me a fucking moron or something.
Did you feel like a fraud?
I always feel like a fraud. So insecurity. So you saw all that insecurity and anxiousness, not even in the handshake, but the way I waved my hand.
Well, the handshake doesn't get any better, if I must say.
Oh, you like the handshake?
No. I could tell that you were very stressed out in this situation, and that it was a very awkward meeting. You had not seen each other in a while, and this was very possibly at a grocery store where you had things to do. And
Oh
move
my
on
God!
with
I
your
had
life.
it. I didn't say it. I had it in my mind. Do you have it in your mind? We were
We're
at a
in the
grocery
produce
store.
section.
Oh my God!
Because I was thinking, like, did you get any read on his blood sugar levels?
Would you quit it with that shit?
No. It was,
Okay, let's do you now. Let's do Delilah now. Okay.
Of Mr. Haydar's hand, it was very delicate. I can tell he's a man that works with his hands every day of his life.
Well, you don't get 250 Canada geese in a Ford Ranger without using your hands.
I want to write that down as a quote too. Delilah hair to hair.
I might actually use mine in my email signature if you do not mind. It's very abstract and
Just
inspiring.
attribute me and it's all yours.
Well, speaking of abstract and inspiring, I do want to get to our topic of the day, which is dangerous safe words. But I'm having to look at the clock. You have to get up north.
We have got to address this because
You got to get up north.
That is true.
You got to get up north. There's
And it's a summer weekend.
and there's an expiration date on those geese, right? They don't live very long in a truck.
Not in these conditions.
Okay, you have been a delightful guest. Thank you so much for talking about dicking and whatever we talked about. Would you like to plug anything? Do you have any recent seminars coming up or anything that you like to talk about?
I am currently in work with a leather worker, and we are working on a specialty line of gloves. These
my
field
God.
is so fruitful. You have no idea the possibilities.
Sign me up. I will take 5 pairs.
What's the brand name?
They are Dr. Leather Gloves. So it's very much in prototype stages.
I hope that
You
brand
can-
name's still in prototype stages.
Well, we are hoping to roll them out as the winter comes around here in America.
Oh my God.
That would be good timing.
Yeah, it'd be great for wringing the necks of the geese or whatever the fuck.
Well, you
do.
should make them out of Canada geese feathers.
Oh
Stuff.
yeah, the lining is very, very soft. The down of the younglings. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. You gave us a great perspective today.
It has been my pleasure.
Yes, thank you so much. And that is it for the Sexperts. As always, I am your host, Dr. John T. Alanese, CPM.
And I'm Delilah Haydair, and look for me at the local city park in Toronto next week, setting some geese free.
See you sex time.
Goodbye. Okay. Are we good? Yeah.